As president of Covenant House, I have been amazed at the lack of awareness of the scope of the problems we face. The first step is making people more aware that so many children are living and dying on our streets.
A candlelight vigil in downtown Anchorage lights the night
21
tonight.
cities across the Western Hemisphere that join tonight to talk about homelessness and how to help its most innocent
to raise awareness and call people to action to help homeless and runaway teens.
Had elsewhere to go, so the streets became my living space. Sleeping in parks and on benches and everything, it's not fun. It's very hard, it's difficult, especially if you're 18 years old.
I slept on the street, had to be down and out like that for 9 months. I just got out of the foster home. I had to sleep in a roll of carpet that someone had left outside.
I got raped by my father when I was 12. After that, I just gave up. I was like, I don't care anymore. I'm going to live on my own.
My parents died when I was 12. I never really found a stable home.
As soon as I turned 18, my parents kicked me out because I was gay.
So I really didn't get much of a good education, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't get a job because I didn't have no high school diploma or whatever. I really didn't have no address to put on my applications, so I had to sell dope.
It takes a great deal of courage to look for help when all you've known is abuse and neglect. That's why our outreach vans are out there every night helping kids on the most dangerous streets in the world. And that's why our 9-line crisis hotline counselors are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Our open intake policy says that if they are asking to come in, we accept them in. There's always someone at the front door, and that is not just an open door as in physically open, but also in a spirit of openness. We accept young people as they are.
I think it's kids running away with stress and difficulty with parents, abuse, neglect. It's always our hope to reunite kids with their families whenever possible.
Hey, how are you? If we can at least improve the relationship between that young person and family, we feel like we've made tremendous strides. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen often enough.
The first thing we do is try to meet their immediate needs. Medical, food, clothing, showers.
When I first got here, it was like heaven, because when you compare it to the streets, there's nothing better than a nice warm with some good food.
Young people coming to Covenant House is often frightened, weary, and untrustful of adults, and a lot of that is from the experience that they've gained while they've been out on the street. So here at Covenant House, we're here to provide them with a lot of support and encouragement. We're in the process of rebuilding, reshaping, and reteaching young people some of the basics that they will need in order to live.
20 years ago, the staff at Covenant House, New York, determined that for residents to succeed, they needed more than crisis care.
If they're only staying 5 days, 15 days, 6 weeks, how can they really have turned anything around?
Rites of Passage is a transitional living program. Rites of Passage is spelled R-I-G-H-T-S. And the reason for that is that we believe very strongly that these kids have a right to make a transition into productive adulthood.
I think Rites of Passage because they keep me motivated. A lot of accomplishments, my state ID, my bank account, and hopefully my GED pretty soon. And look at me, I'm 18 years old, paying rent, taking care of, responsibilities and paying phone bills.
Rites of Passage convinced us at Covenant House to have an employment program for all of the kids.
Very strongly in having training programs that have jobs at the end of them.
They help you get a job as fast as possible, and I think that's the best. That's wonderful.
You can find a Covenant House site in 21 cities throughout the States, Canada, and Latin America. And while the core services are provided in every site, you will find that each one has its own character, influenced by their cities and culture. Our centers are truly part of the communities which they serve.
They've been saying the big one's coming to New Orleans for a very long time. We always evacuate when there's a chance, even a slight chance that something could happen to the city.
They evacuated evacuated us. Immediate evacuation. They took all the residents, all the staff, into the Covenant House in Houston. The staff were very nice, the residents were very nice. You just have to follow the same procedure as the Covenant House in New Orleans.
Houston was incredible in their generosity in allowing us to come there and share their space.
We were having such a good time away from New Orleans. You know, we really didn't realize how bad it was until we started watching.